Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am Oddson Cracker and today I'm going to be starting a Sims 4 LP. That probably won't last because chances are my uploading schedule is going to die like it usually does, but that's okay. So basically I've been wanting to start this series for a while now, but obviously haven't gotten down to it because I'm a high schooler and I'm in sports and homework and I'm busy. It's fine though, it's whatever. So I'm gonna start this today and we're gonna see how this goes. Maybe it'll last, maybe it won't. I don't know. But basically this family is the Cortez family, which consists of 2 parents and like 4 kids, and like their life is just crazy, you know? So today I'm going to this episode is basically going to be an introduction episode to all the Sims and their backgrounds and stuff, and I've been playing this family for like a while now, and by a while I mean like 3 months, so I love them. Just saying, just putting it out there. And also if you're interested, the packs I have installed, if you care, I have Cats and Dogs, City Living, Get to Work, Get Together, Seasons, Dine Out, Parenthood, Spa Day, Molly Night stuff, Laundry Day stuff, Movie and Hangout stuff. Yes, and yes, I do have it written down in front of me because I took notes on their own backgrounds and stuff because I went really in depth, guys, okay? Really in depth because I'm gonna try really hard in this LP, so please let it last. So anyway, starting off, we have my first Sim here. I created her when she was a young adult, and she's an adult now, almost an elder, which is making me sad, because I love my Sims, and I don't want them to grow up, but apparently they're gonna grow up. So, Jocelyn Cortez here. Her traits are family-oriented, foodie, naturally funny, domestic, and her aspiration is to be a super parent, which she's already done basically that. I mean, I didn't complete her aspiration, but that's fine. But they have her and her husband, Miguel, which we'll meet later, have 4 kids, 3 of them being young adults and only 1 being a teen, so whatever. But anyway, so her background story was basically she grew up in a perfect home as an only child, but her parents were very pushy and just really wanted her to be successful. And they were leaning towards doctors because both of her parents were doctors. Her father was a surgeon and her mother was a nurse. I mean, I guess a nurse is not technically a doctor, whatever, but that's what they did. So they really wanted Jocelyn here to follow in their path, but when she was young, not young, but maybe around 16 or 17, she found a passion for cooking. So she didn't really want to be a doctor, but she was scared to tell her parents. When she did tell them, they were not so happy to hear that. So when she turned 18, she moved away, far away from her parents, because she didn't want them judging her and stuff. She wanted to be who she wanted to be. And so now she's a sous chef and she owns a bakery. So she's pretty successful in what she does, and I guess she doesn't really know if her parents are proud or not because she never told them anything and they don't know. So she doesn't really want to include them on her personal life because they're not very supportive of her. So whatever. But now she's really wanting her children to be perfect. But like in whatever they do. She doesn't care what they do. She just wants them to thrive in whatever they do. So that's that, and that's Miss Jocelyn here. And then next we have her husband over here. His name is Miguel Cortez. Don't know what this face he's making is, but whatever. So this is Miguel Cortez, Jocelyn's husband. They got married when they were like probably their early 20s. I don't have an exact age, obviously, because they're Sims and they don't have exact ages. But his traits are family-oriented, sporty, lovable, alluring, and his aspiration is to find his soulmate. Also, if you're wondering where those traits are coming from, I have a pack installed of extra traits. I don't remember who it's by, but because I like extra traits because they make your Sims more customizable and it's more fun. Anyway, so his aspiration is to find a soulmate, which he already has, which is Jocelyn, because they've been married for a very long time since they were young adults, so it's quite lovely. His backstory is a lot more complicated and in-depth than Jocelyn's, and it's actually quite sad. He was like 9 or 10 years old. He was in the kitchen, and he was just trying to make himself some food, like a little snack, because he was hungry, and it was late at night, so his parents were sleeping, and he figured that he knew how to use a stove, but after he was done, he accidentally left it on when he thought it turned off, so he woke up to a lot of smoke and fire, and so did the rest of his family, and it was not good, but his mom was able to get him out with her, and his dad went back in because he actually did have a little baby brother who was about 2 years old, and his dad and his brother never made it out, so that was really emotional for him and his mom because it's their family, and it's really sad, and I don't really like to think of that, but 2 days later, his mother actually passed away from complications with a lot of smoke inhalations, so it was really sad, and he blamed himself for the whole thing, which is really sad for him, so it made him really kind of depressed during his teenage years, because all he could think was, wow, I could be with my family right now, but they're not here. So, obviously, not very great for him. So he was sent to foster care, but when he turned 18 years old, he had joined the police department because he wanted to save people the way he could not save his family that night, which is so sad. The whole thing just makes me sad. I don't like it. I mean, yeah. But, so, he joined the police department, and that's wherever town they moved to, I don't really know. That's where he met Jocelyn, and it was honestly love at first sight. She was like the first girlfriend that he ever really had. But her parents didn't quite like him because of his background, and they did not like the fact that he wasn't growing up in the same way that Jocelyn was, and plus they're just like, yeah, basically that. But they got married anyway. Right, so that's that. So that's my boy Miguel Cortez. So anyway, next up we have Miss Olivia Rose Cortez, which is actually their youngest child, who is also late for school, but it's okay, we don't mind. This is, oh gosh, we're gonna get really close and personal here, but I don't know why she's crying, but that's kind of upsetting. Or that's just her, never mind, that's just her eye glitching. I thought she was crying. It's fine, guys. But this is Olivia Rose Cortez, who she is a teen, and she's the youngest of 4 children, and her traits are sweet talker, talented, quick learner, and her aspiration is to be a Renaissance sim and just kind of be great at everything, because she is that overachiever that, yeah, and her siblings are always kind of jealous of her because she's that overachieving type, and she's just great at everything, and she's like the perfect child that parents could wish for, which obviously Jocelyn loves. But she is the youngest of 4, she is the perfect child, good at everything she does, so like she'll pick up a guitar and then get the hang of it within 24 hours, it's ridiculous. She's a straight A student, she's been like that when she was in elementary school, and she's not really the dating type per se, because she's always been wanting to focus on her success. So she just feels like dating is just in the way of that kind of thing. And she has 2 friends named Kira here, who's also a teen, and Major, who's also a teen. I don't think she actually has that long left in teen. Yeah, no, she's only a teen for 4 more days until we get to experience adulthood with her, which should be pretty fun. So we'll be moving on to the next children, which actually the other 3 children don't live in this household anymore, so we'll get right on over to them. Alrighty guys, so this is Jocelyn Amber Cortez, which is actually the oldest of the 4 children, and her and her other 2 siblings, the young adults, all live in San Myshuno, by the way, and then the parents and Olivia live in Brindleton Bay, I believe. Yeah, so just an FYI there. But Jocelyn's actually like basically has the most description to her because she has been through a lot, let me tell you. So her traits are perfectionist, introvert, she's a natural musician, very responsible and emotionally controlled, has good manners, a muser, and her aspiration is to be a musical genius, which let me tell you guys, she is thriving in that. And if you can tell, she does have a lot of traits because she was top-notch as a teenager. So anyways, okay, so she is the oldest of the 4 children, and she was raised to be perfect like her mother wanted, and she's been trying so hard at that. And Jocelyn was like in elementary school or something, she really wanted a violin because she saw this really cool thing on YouTube that she just really loved of a girl playing a violin, and so she really begged her mother for a violin. And since she picked it up, she knew that that's what she wanted to do for the rest of her life because she loved it so much, and her mother really wanted her to be successful in that because she could see how much she loved it in her eyes. So in her more social life, when she was a teen, she started dating this boy named Ralph, right? And she thought that they were so in love, and like, I think that he liked her a lot too. I just don't per se think that he loved her as much as she loved him, because she just thought that they were gonna become young adults and get married and have hundreds and hundreds of kids. But she actually ended up finding him cheating on her with another woman, so obviously that ended, and she got very distraught, and she went to a club and met this guy named Ratchet. One thing led to another, and she actually ended up giving birth to his child. So, but when she first found out she was pregnant, she did end up telling him, and he was not happy about it, and let's just say he wanted no part of the picture at all. And she told her parents, and her mother was extremely disappointed in her, and she didn't talk to her for like months afterwards, not until the child was born again. But her father was more supportive. Not super supportive though, because obviously he is like Jocelyn, and he was not a fan of this, obviously. But because her parents didn't really like it, she kind of fell back on her 2 best friends, Alex and Nikki. So Alex here and Nikki is right here, and they've all been friends since high school. And then her and Alex actually started dating and are still together. He is actually divorced and has like 3 daughters, so it's not too bad of a thing because she does have a daughter, which we are actually about to meet. Alrighty, so this here is Miss Bella Cortez. I'm flipping my paper because, like I said, I took notes on all these things, and let me tell you, there's a lot of notes. So Miss Bella here does not have a long backstory because obviously she's only a toddler, but her trait is charming. She's adorable and everyone loves her, or mostly everyone, as you're about to find out. So she actually never met her father because obviously he wanted nothing to do with her. So she's never met him before. Probably never will meet him. She might. We don't know yet. We'll see. But Miguel loves her, which is obviously her grandfather. And like he calls Jocelyn all the time and wants to babysit whenever he can, and just to see her because he thinks that she's the most adorable little girl ever. However, Jocelyn, which is her grandmother, actually met her once and then never really came back because she just doesn't really want anything to do with her, because she just doesn't like to think of the idea that her daughter, Jocelyn, obviously, just doesn't like to think that she made such a terrible mistake. However, Jocelyn wouldn't give Bella up for the world. She does not think that she's a mistake at all. She thinks that she's actually a gift because just look at her. She's a little gift. She's a little special child, and we love her. So that's this part of the family, and I guess we'll move on to the next members. Alrighty, so next up we have our girl Naomi Grace Cortez, which I honestly love Naomi so much because she's so unique compared to the other siblings, which you're about to find out why. So her traits are outgoing, attractive, goofball. She has uncontrolled emotions, and she's quote-unquote responsible, but like, not really. She just has that trait. She's very gregarious, and her aspiration is to be a party animal because she just loves parties. So she's actually our second born, quote-unquote, because she actually has a twin brother, which will be the other child that we will be introduced to in a moment. She was kind of the black sheep growing up, and she never really cared in school, which was very different because all of her other siblings strive to get those straight A's and like impress her mother. She was just like, I don't really care. So she kind of just, I wouldn't say failed, because she still did classwork and stuff, and like she gave a 50% effort, but like that was good enough to get her B's and C's, but not really A's. She had a lot of friends, or still has a lot of friends, and she actually does have a boyfriend whose name is Peter, and they've been together a long time, but they're strictly intimate and kind of an open relationship, so like he's seeing other people and she's seeing other people, and it's just not my favorite relationship ever. But Jocelyn does not want to associate herself much with Miss Naomi here, because obviously she's not that big successful star of a child that she wanted. She's currently, I mean, like living in this very rundown home. I mean, it doesn't look that rundown because she gave it a nice makeover, because she's very stylish, try-hardish, but yeah. But Miguel is very supportive of her. These aspects definitely like come together in her social media career, because that's, I mean, I know that Jocelyn wants them to be successful whenever they want, but social media isn't really the biggest whoop thing that, yeah, you know what I mean. But Miguel is very supportive of it, and he's proud of her because she's not this big successful star, but she's still successful in her own different ways. So like I said, she's in the social media career, and she's basically Instagram famous or whatever, and she likes to post about these big parties she goes to and has and whatnot, and just kind of get those followers because she's all about those followers. I actually think that she's like level 3 or something, I don't really know. Yeah, she's level 3. And also if you're wondering, that's correct, we don't want that. This is Peter. You'll be introduced to more of these Sims as the LP continues, but you know, these are all her Sims. And she actually does have a dog whose name is Heidi, and I love Miss Heidi. I don't know why, but she looks different, and I like different. Also, I love her eyes. I don't know why. I don't know. Don't question me. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go on to her brother Nolan. Alright, so this is Mr. Nolan Richard Cortez, and let me tell you, he's an interesting fellow. I love him so much, actually. I think he's so cute. I don't know. He's great. I love him. But he's Naomi's twin, as I mentioned earlier, so he's like the second oldest, but third oldest. I don't really know. I wasn't really paying attention. I can't remember who was born first, but it's fine, guys. It's fine. So his traits are active, naturally thin, loves the outdoors, responsible, he has high metabolism, and his aspiration is to be a bodybuilder, which is actually kind of funny. I'll explain why. But anyway, when he was a kid, he was in Boy Scouts, and he just loved being outside and doing all those boy things, like playing in the dirt and stuff, I don't know, playing kickball with his friends. He loved doing that active stuff. But it's kind of difficult for him to gain weight because he's obviously naturally thin, as I explained earlier, but he still wants to be a bodybuilder, so he's just struggling a little bit more, but it's fine. But he's still very successful in his career. I think he's level 4 in the athletic career. And he actually has a fiance named Hadley Kim, which they are high school sweethearts, which, okay, that's kind of frightening. She is right here, the face she's making is kind of priceless. I kind of love it. Anyway, this is Miss Hadley Kim, Nolan's fiance. Her traits are vegetarian, weather immune, loner, and has the essence of flavor, and her aspiration is to become a master chef. So she actually has 2 full brothers, which she's the youngest of, and she has like 4 half brothers, I believe. So her mom had her at the age of 17, but she actually ended up passing away during childbirth. So her father was very like distraught over it, and like he was emotionally torn apart, and he just blamed her and didn't really want anything to do with her, so he just kind of left. And so now he has his own family, which is where the 4 half brothers came from, which are all younger, obviously. I believe he's married. I don't know if he's married or if he's just dating this girl. I don't really know. I haven't paid much attention to him, but she and her full brothers were actually raised by her grandparents, and they kind of just grew up around her uncles and her cousins and aunts and stuff, because her grandparents are really like, what's it called, like involved with their family, I guess. So she kind of grew up around them and spends a lot of time with them, and is still very close to all of them because, like I said, family, yeah. Jocelyn is actually a big fan of Hadley and like is very proud of Nolan for finding this girl, because they are both bonding over cooking, because obviously Jocelyn is a chef. They love each other and they talk about cooking and everything together, and it's so fun. So that's that. And this is actually their apartment, because fun fact, Hadley's family is actually rich. But it's fine, we don't talk about that, it's fine, they just started off on the right foot. So this is Hadley and Nolan. So this is actually where I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and please show support by leaving like a like and a comment and whatnot, because I really actually like this, and I'm in love with this family so much, and I can't wait for all the like drama and stuff to go on with them. It's gonna be so fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and tune in for the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.